Cut it hard, cut it hard, cut it hard. On this episode here at Sally's Speed Shop, we are back on the Mustang Trashback project. And for those who haven't watched the previous episode, my dad drug 4 old Fords out of a backyard for $500, and 2 of them were Mustang Fastbacks.
$500 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dirt cheap, and we're trying to build the cheapest running 65 Fastback we can. And today we're gonna drag the 65 into the shop and start to get to work on it. So cleaning it up, checking over what's there, and making a plan to go forward and put the small block out of the museum in this car and make it run and drive again.
It's about 2 weeks and 2 days before Hot Rod Power Tour, and I'm actually considering driving this. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. But you know, we've got all the pieces. It's just a matter of putting them together, and all I'm gonna do is bare bones. Just a drive line and a couple seats, got to get a windshield, headlights. But
it's a terrible idea,
yeah,
is what it is. And I'm leaving this one up to him. I'm gonna help him a little bit, but it's all his work that he's got to do.
It's good to have goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into the thrash life anymore,
yeah.
So it's his thrash. Anyway, we're gonna get some air in these tires and push this thing forward, and then try to get it down to the shop without killing ourselves, because it's a pretty steep hill going down there, and this thing doesn't have any brakes.
We also don't know if it rolls, so we don't know if we're going to be pulling it down the hill.
It'll roll.
Or keeping it from rolling down the hill. Yeah. We'll see.
Yet to be determined. The car currently has a hodgepodge mix of different wheels and tires. It's got these cool old American racing style torque thrusts. No idea what brand they are or what material it is. It's got Steelies on the rear. It doesn't have a differential in it right now, so we'll have to put a diff in it when we get it into the shop. It's got a kind of a tube holding the axles together, but he's going to try to put some air in the tires, then we'll see if it'll move.
The front 2 are actually still holding air after who knows how long.
A long time.
Yeah.
So that one's taking air. We'll definitely have air in the fronts. Let's go look at the driver's side. That looks a little less hopeful, but it still might hold air. So these are some old white walls. They look like they're bias ply tires too, so those are properly old. But yeah, we'll see. Yet to be determined.
We're up to 4.
Hey, we only need like 10. We don't want it to roll too easy. Does the steering do anything? Oh yeah, steering definitely moves the wheel a little bit. So we're good to be able to steer it too, which helps a lot when you're moving old cars. He's gonna finish airing that one up, and then we'll see if the driver's side will take some air. So that driver rear tire wouldn't take any air, so we're gonna steal one off the Hornet, because this is the same bolt pattern. This is 5 on 4.5.
And it's close by. Where's your grease cap, Jake?
Who knows?
How long's it been missing?
It would be like 50,000 miles ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that tire will do. We'll be able to roll the car into the shop.
This is like deja vu from like a year ago.
Yeah, except I'm not robbing parts off of it this time. I'm actually doing things for it.
Yeah, we're adding quality parts this time.
Quality might be a stretch. But we are improving the tire, for starters.
Yeah.
Because that one is flat on one side.
We're putting an AMC wheel on a Ford product. Normally it's the other way around. AMC would buy parts from other companies and put them on their cars. Kind of doing it backwards.
All right, we're gonna see if we can get this thing to roll. So you get on that side. I think the door, the A-pillar is gonna be the place to hold on to. But I'm gonna use this block so we don't get too carried away. I don't think we're gonna get carried away. I'm gonna throw this that way.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna run away from us.
It does roll though. Better than the alternative.
The back one is locked. But there's not much weight back there because it's a Trashback.
Oh, we're dragging our tarp. Whoops.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna get away from us.
No, I don't think so. This tire is just dragging. There's
Which is weird. Oh, maybe the brakes are caught.
Yeah, there's obviously not too much weight on it.
I did have to struggle getting the drums off. It's easier when we get downhill. Picked up a passenger already.
Freeloader. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Too much weight, clean that.
Oh goodness. Come on, keep going. Oh, now we're rolling. Peanut's just riding along. What you doing, girl? We're doing it. Oh, it just started rolling. Rear free up.
Yep, we got this wheel rolling now.
All right, so we're gonna park it here on somewhere up here where we can get by it. Cut it hard, cut it hard, cut it hard. Into the shop it goes. We probably should have brushed it out outside. It's full of leaves. Oh, it does not drive straight at all. It's crab walking.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Probably half the work to get it on the road.
No, there's a lot more left to go.
All right, we got this thing into the shop, and now it's time to clean it out a little bit.
Get a better look at it in the light.
For those who think the trunk pan is gone, it actually is, but that's the top of the gas tank. So the gas tank just sits down in there.
It's partially gone, just like right here.
Yeah.
But the frame rail's mostly solid. Just a little bit of messed up spot here on top.
Yeah,
so
no
the
burn.
structure's pretty much fine.
No burnouts.
I mean, it'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
Suspension does something. First things first, we're gonna get all the stuff out of it, all the leaves, all the random parts. We're gonna see what condition the floors are in and come up with a plan. Lots of work to do, so cue the time lapse while we get this cleaned out. He's continuing to vacuum out the car. We've got most of the organic matter and leftover rust out. And there's now, you know, a lot more holes in the floor. Not that it's that terrible, but you know, you have stuff here, you got stuff up there, some over there, and some right here. But this whole section looks pretty solid. And if you come here, the door has actually separated from the structure. So the whole door skin is loose, which means the whole bottom of this door is rusted out, as you can see up here. But when you move it, just stuff falls out the whole time. So that's not ideal. The whole weather stripping just came off. That's always good. So yeah, there's definitely some problems going on, but we're gonna take this hood off and look underneath real quick and see what's going on there. Well, under the hood, there's a lot of stuff missing, and I mean pretty much everything. We've got the steering, and the cross member's still in there. We've got the gas pedal that doesn't move at all. Oh, there we go. It just started moving, and rust came out when I moved it. That's great. You got one brake line. No anything else. It's just empty. There's a tiny bit of rust up here where the battery would have been. So you always kind of have rust under the battery. But everything else is mostly solid. I mean, there's a lot of surface rust, don't get me wrong, but there's no real holes up here in the front, so.
If we use that rust converter stuff, the car will disappear.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a pile of dust by the time it's done.
Yeah.
I guess it used to be this burgundy color. Where you can see it's kind of dark burgundy, which is not what we're gonna paint it again. We've got a lot of the stuff out of it, and now we need to figure out a plan of what we're gonna do, because there's a lot left to do. I know my dad got a gas tank for it, so this is CJ Pony Parts. He ordered a whole gas tank that just drops there in the back.
I think it was like 140 bucks or something.
That's not bad.
Was it?
Oh, it's got a box inside of a box. Yeah, brand new gas tank.
There we go. Super quick enhancement.
Go drop it in place, see if it fits.
I do have the filler neck in my basement, so one less part we have to buy. There we go.
Look at that. Trunk floor repaired.
That was quick and easy.
Yeah. It looks a lot better. Like, it looked so bad back here because there's this giant hole, but that hole's supposed to be there. So kind of weird that they did it that way, that the gas tank is kind of part of the structure of the car, but it's kind of cool at the same time.
That way, instead of 2 layers of metal, you know, before you get gas inside, there's only one.
I will say inevitably it always rusts between the gas tank and the floor though, so that kind of gets rid of that problem.
Yeah.
So, I like it.
It was the Pintos that had a problem with lighting on fire, not the Mustangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there you go, first brand new part on the car. Now, we're gonna pull the wheels and tires off and look at the brakes. We're just gonna put the wheels on for looks at that point, but we'll look at the front brakes. And I don't think he's ordered all the brake parts he needs to anyway.
I haven't done anything with brakes.
Because we're gonna have to redo the back brakes and redo the front brakes, I'm sure, so doesn't really matter. We're just gonna put the new wheels on it just for the visual appeal. So let's see if we can make that happen. So I was working on the front end of this car and I noticed the fenders are each held on with 1 bolt. So we're gonna get these out of the way and get them cleaned up rather than trying to work underneath them.
Was there a nut on the bottom?
There was, yeah.
Okay.
I pulled it off.
So I pulled the car home on a trailer with just 1 bolt holding each fender.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of
easiest removal ever, though.
sitting on a ledge, but at least they didn't fly off.
Oh, is there a bolt up there?
Looks like it's just hung up.
Just a tight fit. But yeah, this way we can take a look at the suspension, clean things up underneath a little bit before we put the tires back on.
Got a little camber going on.
Yeah, there's no weight on it.
Yeah, I think that'll fix.
Very stiff though.
That'll fix a lot of that.
Can I get us to do something?
Yeah. Nope, it ain't moving. Oh, the finger is.
It moves a little bit. It's stiffer than I would expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Don't damage that nice fender, man.
yeah, nice thing with a car like this, you don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, it is like really towed in for some reason. And I was wondering about brake lines and whether I needed to order some. I mean, it's a 50-year-old car, probably should, but there's your answer.
Yeah, here's your answer. I just grabbed this one and it broke in half.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Not great.
Well, something to add to the list of
It's a
things
weird
to
little
do.
tire.
Yeah, it is. The one on the other side is a BF Goodrich.
It's a Pirelli.
Pirelli racing tire, man.
Fancy.
Yeah.
It does say racing. Looks like almost like a rally tire, like a snow or gravel tire.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's Italian.
Yeah, fancy.
But yeah, this is an old Touring TA BF Goodrich. So these bearings appear to be pretty good. I mean, that thing just doesn't stop. Pretty impressive with our Pirelli tire on there. The other side, it's dragging a little bit on the rotor. And I don't even know what kind of calipers these are.
One of them was a disc brake car. I don't know which one, according to the VIN. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think that's what Mike said.
Check that disc out with the openings there.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's factory or not.
So these are 4 piston?
Is there pistons on the back
There's
too?
yeah.
They're interesting.
That is crazy. So there's a brake line that runs actually from the inside to the outside.
Yeah.
And there's a bleeder screw there.
I know that modern brakes like Willwood and Bear brakes, this brake line is internal as part of the caliper instead of having an external brake line. So that's definitely more old school, but it's kind of cool.
That's different. Yeah, we got to get parts ordered. I've got 16 days to get this ready.
Yeah, we need to clean this up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
So I got the 2 bolts off the caliper, and I'm going to try to pry the thing off.
Hey, be careful not to mess up that brake line.
Can't even hold the weight of the caliper.
That is crazy. Like,
still brake fluid in
that
there.
is like cutting edge.
Still brake fluid.
Wow, that's cutting edge technology.
That is pretty cool.
That's what they do today on cars.
Yeah.
So we might be able to reuse these calipers, just throw some new pads in there. There was actually still pad left.
A little tiny bit, yeah.
But
they probably need the boot cleaned up on them.
The boots are still flexible. Yeah, so I think there's hope for them. And what are these for?
I don't know, because they're different bolts on the other side. I think they hold like the caliper together.
Hold the caliper to that.
See, there's like
bracket.
Like the caliper's 2 pieces here.
Okay.
See, like there's a there's a gap there.
Wow.
It's weird.
But for its day, that's some cutting edge stuff. If this is in fact a disc brake car.
I think that's what Mike said when I was talking to him. We can leave those off for now and put the wheels on.
That is cool.
Yeah, it spins really nice. Weird.
So yeah, we want to stick our new wheels on here and just throw the fender back on there and the hood and see what it looks like.
Yeah, we're gonna clean these up a little. Because they are dirty.
Yeah, they are. There's like grass on the inside of that spinning around. Yeah, 60 miles an hour, that'll get rid of it.
Already better than it was though.
It looks like a ceramic disc.
Terracotta maybe.
Look how thin it is.
Yeah, I think it's been used quite a bit.
Yeah, because the inside is thinner than the outside, so it's been turned down a little bit. I don't know about the other side. Actually, the inside looks a little thinner on this one, but I don't know.
This thing does not spin as easy. Is it hitting the dust shield?
Hitting something. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out, but getting there.
Now we've got the car pretty cleaned up and stripped down. We went ahead and took those calipers off to get them out of the way. One of the next things is going to be to degrease this entire car and pressure wash it. But for now, to make it a roller, we're going to put the new wheels on it. So my dad picked up a set of American racing wheels. These are the ones that were on the front. And then he has a much better improvement.
Yeah.
So he picked these up on Facebook Marketplace for like 500 bucks.
Yep.
They've got really good tires.
Yeah.
And they look a whole lot better.
You picked them up for me, and they came from Marquise Grissom. He used to play for the Atlanta Braves, won a World Series with them. They came from his brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, got a tie to the
My
Atlanta
dad
Braves.
knew that. I didn't know that when I picked them up. But yeah, we're going to toss these on and see how they fit and how they look. And I think it will improve the car quite a bit over those tiny little things that were on it.
Oh, it's already looking better.
A little bit at a time.
Oh, yeah.
High standards here. Complete with the old rusty lug nuts going back on.
Yeah.
Always a good move.
In rust we trust.
Those look much too nice for this car. I could tell you that much.
Man, a set of wheels and tires can make a huge difference on a car. It's amazing. Even on an old ratty car, you put nice wheels and tires on it.
Yeah, you get the stance right and you give it some new shoes and the car is dialed, even if the rest of it is hot garbage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. We've got both the front wheels on, it's on the ground, and my dad's working on the rear, so taking the Hornet wheel off. We definitely need one new stud. Is the drum gonna come off for you?
That's not a reference to me.
Yeah, that you would have to be a stud in the first place for that to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that drum's gonna come off or not. You need to look at the brakes and measure what.
Yeah, this one was pretty tight. I remember you pried them off like about a year ago.
Hey, there are shocks back there.
Oh yeah, with helper springs.
Yeah, it's like a Gabriel load
Yep,
helper.
that's one thing we don't have to touch. We do need a brake line though.
Do you really want to leave those on there?
Sure.
Why?
Why not?
Why do you want load helpers?
You know how much work it takes to leave them on there?
I bet they don't work.
I don't know if they work, but typically your front shocks are what matters.
I think I would go ahead and just order new drums in my brake kit.
Yeah?
Yeah, why do you want to bother? That's cheaper than cleaning them up and painting them typically.
Who said anything about that?
Come on, man. Don't be a hack.
Tune in tomorrow for the exciting conclusion. Gotta do it there where there's a void, right? There we go. Oh man, they're good. Actually, they look pretty good. You know what I'm gonna do to these? Nothing.
Yeah, except for the giant cracks in the shoe material.
Yeah, I'll just buy a set and have it with me, just in case. What do you think? And the drums are fine too. Yeah, okay. But we gotta have them off for the, we gotta have them off for putting the diff in, so we'll just leave them off. It's very thin. They'll go on there, right?
Will the wheel fit over that? It might. This man, don't ever let him work on your car.
I mean, it's not like we got brakes that are functioning. You wouldn't want to do that if you were actually going to press the brakes.
Outside of that logic, just never let him touch your car.
That's actually very logical.
He's like, I'm going to leave these 40-year-old brakes because they look fine.
Yeah.
They are not fine. I assure you, they are not fine.
Well, you know, what's the theme of this car? What's the goal here? It's to get a car running, get this car running, as little work and as little money as possible. So, gotta stay on point.
I like how he uses that, like, that's the reason he's doing this. No, he would be doing that anyway.
It's dysfunctional logic.
Oh, goodness.
These are new open air drum brakes. They stay cooler. They can breathe. All right, so I got the drum off on this side, and it looks a little moist for some reason, but I don't know, that could be gear oil.
I think that's PB Blaster and stuff.
Or that. So, not really looking bad, but I mean, there's paint still on the springs. So we will order wheel cylinders and hardware kits and shoes. So that's actually a piece of aluminum tube that we had in the shop that is keeping the axles aligned.
Looks pretty good.
In the absence of a differential.
Yeah. It's really not too bad under here.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have a brake line, which definitely needs replaced looking at it. That looks terrible. It's all kinked. The fuel line looks intact, so we might be able to clean it out. We'll have to see. Or we could just run nothing but rubber line, and I have a bunch of aluminum hard line we could splice it into. It would take like 10 minutes.
There's only, yeah, it actually looks really bad under here.
This looks like a crime scene with the way he's laying.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
There's only one shock under here, Jake.
Oh, there's not one on this side?
No, and so we're only getting helping on one side.
Yeah, I think you should order a pair of shocks.
There's a helper spring on that. So yeah, we'll order some nice QA1 shocks.
We have some leftover shocks that came off the front of the Javelin before we switched it to coilovers, and I'm going to be able to adapt this to work on the front on both sides. So we'll have double adjustable shocks with the factory coil spring. It's not the exact right shock, but I think it's going to be pretty easy to make it fit, so that's going to be a huge improvement. So yeah, beautiful shiny parts.
And made in the USA.
Yep. All right, so we're going to get the last wheel and tire on, and then toss the fenders back on and let you see what it looks like. And then the next time we're over here, after my dad's done some cleaning and painting, this will be going in the car.
Don't we want to make it run a little more first?
No. We know it runs. That's what we needed. We just have to dial it in the car.
I'm going to come over here when you're not around and make it run more.
He's going to break things because he has no idea what he's doing. All right, let's put the fenders back on and then slide it under the Javelin after we take in the glory.
Gotta order a radio antenna.
Yeah, that's the most important part right now. There you go. So that's the look, except for it's like a mile in the air.
It's a gasser. Man, that changes it a lot.
It still looks terrible with the ride height.
Well, yeah. I like how those fenders are sculpted up there.
Fit into there.
Yeah, that's pretty stylish. Car's got good lines. Is that one working?
Ish.
It's not closing either. Oh, it did. And then stuff
Ignore all the stuff that
falls out.
The door is not connected to the structure.
It's just the bottom of the door falling out. Pay no attention. It looks so much better.
Makes a big difference for it, for sure. And this thing is stiff.
Yeah. We throw that huge 289 in there.
Yeah, like 200 pounds.
That'll bring it
it's
down.
More than that, but probably like a 400-pound engine.
Yeah. Well, that's it for tonight, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna work
your
on
next job is to clean this thing up so you can get some paint on it.
pressure wash it, wire wheel it, and then use some rust converter.
Yeah, some sweet patina undercoat.
The car can look horrible, but we want under the hood to look good.
Yeah, you gonna do anything here?
The battery's probably gonna go in the back for now. So no.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no time.
Look how easy it rolls now.
Yeah. Huge improvement. All right, that's it for tonight.